Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? It is Thursday, March 24th, 2022, 8:20 a.m. Eastern, 6:20 a.m. Mountain Time. Good morning. Audio visual check, please. Good morning, Night Truck, Greg, Pavel, Fat N, Steven, my girl Tammy, Blue Dog, Topher, Wade, Matt, Maria, bonjour to you. Good morning. You are at the pregame show, and what we do here every day, we go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day, and I get you ready for the trading day with framework. Basically, it's a game plan and framework so you could have a game plan for the day. Doesn't mean it will work out perfectly, but at least you'll have your parameters, your key levels going forward. So jump on live around 9 or 10 minutes early, usually every morning, especially on days where we have data coming out and we have jobless claims. It's the weekly jobless claims that comes out every Thursday. That will come out in 9 minutes. Sometimes it's just a nothing burger. Nothing really happens. But sometimes if it's a jolt, a true surprise, it could be a shock to the system, either bullish or bearish. And we have had some morning volatility with the NATO meeting going on. So we need to keep that in mind as well. Well, thank you, Chuck. My day can get started. Hey, Mary. Hey, Ricky, Steven, Chris, yeah, hit that like button, why don't you? Hey, Amira, Asia, and Roger. I'll take a few requests before I get started. In celebration of YouTube working this morning, I will do a little request. Neo, all right. Neo got got coverage initiation with a price target of $32.40 this morning. So that is not an upgrade, but if the price target is higher than current price, then essentially it is an upgrade. We're approaching the daily 50 MA from below, and we've gone through this resistance of 22.21. The next resistance we have is 23.35 on that weekly chart, 23.35. So I would say it's slightly bullish this morning because it's had this big move up, and we have that coverage initiation that could be interpreted bullishly. So I would be careful shorting it, but I do think shorting 22.60 makes sense. But again, this coverage initiation and how it's interpreted could change that setup. Support 22.01 and $22. Look how wide yesterday's range was. If we were unable to get over 22.60 in the first, I would say 15 to 20 minutes, that could be a red flag that we would just have an inside bar day. Hey, Matthew, Chris. Steven, I'm thinking they might invert. Yes. What is the US? The US 10-year is 2.37. What's the 2-year? Possibly, but we have a decent distance. So the 2-year's at 2.14, the 10-year's at 2.374. If the 2-year were to increase higher than the 10-year, then it would be inverted. I was trying to think of another verb besides increase, but that was the best I got this time of morning. Hey, Zia, ALLG. Let me make sure it is blue sky. When I see financial conglomerate, that looks like an SPAC to me. I would be careful. Support at 1560. Support at 1813 and resistance 2180 on those broker open wicks. So your next key resistance 2232, then the high of yesterday 2391. Your next support 1636, 1616. Very volatile name. Be cautious on these names with very wide swings. Let's see. The volume, oh wow, look at that volume yesterday. 54 million and the average is 6.7 million. The volume definitely stands out. So in order to trade this, I would first say that you need to be a ninja. What's a ninja? Someone who is consistently profitable, a seasoned trader. For names like this type of volatility can wipe you out. So I would be looking for the first 5-minute back burner on this setup, or 15-minute, meaning the first oversold. So you could do that by, tell me when RSI crosses 30. And I did that on the 15-minute just to be a little bit safer versus front running with a 5-minute. Hey, Joe, Rob. Yep, you love your AG, huh? Look at silver. Silver on the weekly, we're still inside last week. Well, this is AG. Sorry, I need to look at silver first. before I get started. So silver has a 4-hour trend change. That's bullish for AG. And we have enough room. We could take out this high of 25.59 if the bulls are so inclined. They are close enough to do that. We have this little daily EQ. We've talked about it, 13.55, 13.58, double bottom. And you have key resistance. We got through the high yesterday. So 14.09 and 14.08 is a double top on the daily. Then your next resistance, 14.37. I would say the bulls are positioned well to have a bull day. ADA short. And again, I'll get started with the indices in 4 minutes. ADA, USD. That's Cardano, right? I'm pretty sure that's Cardano. I'm just going to go with it. Wow, what a beautiful move. Daily RSI is extended. Our next resistance over the high of today, $16.6, is 1263. 4-hour extended, hourly extended. The bull charge continues. I would stay in long as the hourly EMAs are below you. Is Adobe going to bounce? Just be careful with that ADA short. Pete Town, you may be front running that a little bit. The bulls are larger and in charge. Potential 4-hour bear flag on Adobe. Daily RSI is not oversold. 4-hour not oversold. 30-minute no longer oversold. 15-minute no longer oversold. So I like to look for bounces when all of the time frames are lined up, and this one has had a cool off bounce, so I would actually be looking the other way, short on Adobe. A bounce up to 430.49 would make sense. Finally, XBI before I get started with indices. Weekly 8 EMA continues to be a problem. Daily 50 EMA continues to be a problem. 93.09. We got a double top by 31 cents yesterday on the daily. And the 4-hour bears are going to be waiting up here. To me, this is a clear short on a bounce. Bears will be waiting. If you were to get anywhere in that vicinity, they will be waiting for you. On the 15-minute, you got a closer resistance at 91.88, so you could attempt a top fish at 91.88 if it were to bounce that high. But this is not constructive price action. Thanks, MG. I thought so. I've seen it so many times in my account. You would think that I know. Lit. Okay, I do have time for one more. What is lit? Lithium and battery, okay. The volume. Sometimes these ETFs, volume's okay. The volume's not that great. We are just getting trapped by the daily 50 MA. We double top yesterday by 18 cents on the daily. 4-hour getting whacked by the 200 MA. This is a bullish sector, so I have that in my head. I know it's a bullish sector, but still a top fish of 76.07 makes the most sense to me right here with this daily double top, daily 50 MA overhead. I have two different options. I can be aggressive and I could top fish 76.07 right here, or I could be conservative and wait for those first oversold bounces. I would say the 15-minute makes more sense here, because we got the 5-minute oversold bounces yesterday. So aggressive, I'd be top fishing. Conservative, I'd be waiting for 15-minute back burner. You're welcome. TSM short. Man, I'm getting through a lot of names this morning. I jumped on super early. TSM short, I like it. Got an upper wick of profit taking yesterday, 108.19. And that happened when that Intel NVIDIA news came out yesterday. TSM got whacked a bit. About right here when that news came out about Intel, NVIDIA using Intel as a foundry. I had to go look that up. I didn't know what foundry meant, but that impacted TSM. I like this a lot, actually. Top fish of on the 15-minute, 106.58. We're right there. That's aggressive. A more conservative play is wait for closer to $108. Man, I got through all of your requests already. That never happens. Alrighty, let's get started. Good morning. You are at the pregame show. I'm Chark Al-Lori. This is who I am. I'm at Chark Al-Lori on Twitter. If you want to give me a follow, if you want to check out who I work with, chartguys.com, and what we do, go check out that website. And what I do here every day is I go over the indices, Fab 4, which are the Fab 4 futures. I go over the US 10-year and the VIX when it is related, and even foreign markets, crypto, commodities, and movers and shakers of the day. And my goal is to get you ready for the trading day. As far as technical analysis is concerned, at TCG, we teach technical analysis. We teach you how to fish. I'm going to give you setups, but if you don't have a fishing pole, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you probably need to join the Chart Guys and figure that out. Because I can show you where the hot fishing spots are, but you have to have a fishing pole, i.e. a system, a defined edge that works for you and your trading style in order to execute these trade ideas. So, here are my notes. If you're interested in my chart setup, it's in the link below in the video description. Here are my notes for the day, and I copy and paste these for Chart Guys members, and I put them in the room. That way they can just copy and paste and mark them up. And here is my jargon, Queen of the Mountain, and ninjas only, and what that means. So overnight, HSI, the Hang Seng Index, was down approximately 1%. The DAX was down 0.2%, so very muted. I would say slightly red to muted. And right now we're getting a bearish response to NATO sound bites. So we're getting a bearish response to technicals also because it's time for healthy consolidation. The setup is there for the bears for the taking. And also NATO is moving that needle along for the bears with these sound bites of the NATO and US are preparing for nuclear war. So NATO meeting is underway right now, and these sound bites are leaking out. And what's happening in the market, we also just had jobless claims. I don't know what those are. Oh, there's Judd. He's telling us, hey, Brent, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. Brent is in Ukraine. He's listening to me now. And again, my thoughts, prayers, well wishes, whatever spiritual higher power that you look to, my thoughts are there with you. I just can't imagine. Okay, so with NASDAQ this morning, actually, let me show you the 1 minute candle because it's quite impressive. We had a $60 move on one minute NASDAQ candle. And that's when that nuclear concerns came out and we had that sound bite and it impacted price. So this becomes the low of the day that we must hold, 14502. If we lose 14,500, then more meaningful consolidation could be anticipated with the market. So looking at ES on the 4 hour, can't see much there. A lower high is anticipated. So a lower high compared to 4481. Let me look at the hourly. Hourly, we are in an uptrend, a clear uptrend, yet we're rejecting from the hourly 50 MA. Let me see if I like it better on the 6 hour. I typed these notes a few hours ago. Yeah, I like it better on the 6 hour. Odds favor a lower high compared to 4493 and or 4514. And we're fighting right now with the 8 EMA, and we are fighting it on the 6 hour, on the 4 hour, on the hourly. We're fighting it. And then again, the hourly 50 MA reject. NASDAQ, same thing. We cannot close. We have been unable to close this morning over that hourly 50 MA. It continues to suppress price and could continue to cause a problem for the market bulls. So 4 hour lower highs anticipated against 14682. And then what stands out is where RTY is relative to the hourly 50 MA. So I'm going to click fast and kind of click through these so you can see the relative strength and relative weakness. So YM is the weakest. Look how far we are from the hourly 50 MA, then RTY, then ES, and then NASDAQ. So let me say that a different way. I'm looking at price relative to the hourly 50 MA. NASDAQ is the strongest, then ES is the second strongest, then RTY is the third strongest, and YM is the weakest. So you can say that in either order. So if this continues, that means we'd be looking long QQQ names, and we would be looking short either financials or Dow-centric names. Let me go look at my notes. So second daily inside bar is forming on ES and NASDAQ, 4 hour lower high most likely. Hourly uptrends, yet that hourly 50 MA overhead. And RTY, this may be the most important chart of the day. Y'all know I like to bang tables here and there. So right here, let me draw a little star or an arrow right there. The high of RTY was 2103 and we hit 2097 yesterday. So we have a double top on the weekly with RTY. And sometimes you can see of our Fab 4 futures, our 4 major indices, if one of them hits a major roadblock, they get to the end of the road and it's like, okay, bridge is out. The bridge is out right here on RTY. Does this mark the top for the whole market? It would be more convincing if it were NASDAQ, but NASDAQ doesn't have a double top. We're not even close to it. So does this stop the bull progression? And flip side, if we were to break bull out of this weekly resistance over 2103, would that then drag up the other 3 indices? I'm viewing this more as the bridge is out over 2100 for RTY, and that could be a cause to pause for all the other indices. And the Dow, 4-hour lower high most likely, pretty far away, weaker than ES&Q, and it's weaker than RTY. And RTY is the Russell. If you're newer to futures, I go over the futures charts because they give me more data because they trade 23 hours a day, approximately 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. So, and especially with the dividends lately on SPY and QQQ, the moving averages are still a little messed up. So I'd rather just focus on the futures chart, but this data can still serve you even if you don't trade futures. So the US 10-year 4-hour lower high, most likely scenario. Let's see if that's changed since I typed that. So a lower high is expected compared to 2417 doesn't mean it will happen. We're up 3.5%. And this is just a measure of inflation. The higher this thing goes, the more rate hikes that will be required in order to slow this thing down. So it is typically a headwind for tech. VIX had an hourly EQ earlier. We're still in that. You have support up 2311, 2264, resistance 2379, and 24 headwind. Come on. There's my mouse. It did not want to work. Okay. Bitcoin daily, 4-hour and hourly holding 50 RSI, hourly and 4-hour uptrends. Ethereum, 4-hour inside bars maintaining all key EMAs and the 50 RSI. You're newer to these parts. You know that I like to use 50 RSI as a support. So right here at the 50 RSI, we're holding on Bitcoin. 4-hour, y'all see this? Holding just fine. Hourly, holding just fine. 30-minute, we're just now testing it. Ethereum, we're testing it on the 30-minute. On the hourly, we're holding just fine. 4-hour, holding just fine. Daily, holding just fine. So that means that we could be scouting oversold bounces on our crypto names. I wouldn't recommend buying up here. That it could work, but odds favor that you would be better suited or better positioned if you would wait for a pullback and wait for those back burner trades, oversold bounces. Gold has been pretty bullish this morning. We finally got that daily bull break over 1951. We hit 1958. We're running into a prior support. What time frame did I? Right here, 1960 here. Prior support could serve as resistance, and it is in this scenario. But overall, gold bulls are looking for an entry. On the 15-minute on a bounce, you'd look for a lower high, but I would be watching 5 and 15-minute oversold bounces on gold if you miss this run up for a potential long entry. Okay, Adam, I'm going to have to delete your comment because we cannot tolerate any political comments. This is not the place. You can go find another chat room if you want to discuss politics, but I am not the one. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I can do the US 2-year, which is going ballistic. Hourly uptrend support 2124, 2096. And this is what I mean by ballistic. Look at that. Last time we measured it, it was up 1,275%. So that is a better measure of recent inflation, and it is a potential daily bull flag. Back to oil. So on oil, we are looking for a daily lower high. However, there could be a 4-hour bull flag. And hourly, we're just going sideways. We had this little bear break. It actually looks like a diamond bearish reversal pattern on the 2-hour. Yeah, that could be a diamond bearish reversal pattern, but I don't want my face ripped off. I'm not saying I've got a pretty face, but I definitely don't want to damage it. I don't want it ripped off by the oil bull. So this could be a 2-hour bearish reversal pattern. It could be a good area to top fish that daily lower high on oil, but just do so very cautiously, recognizing these uptrends on so many time frames. Right now we have a 2-hour inside bar, so just remember that. Nat gas, I actually entered a short this morning on Nat gas. I haven't traded Nat gas in a while, looking for a 4-hour, looks better on the 4-hour lower high compared to 533, and this too could be a diamond bearish reversal pattern. So I'm top fishing 533, recognizing that we have the inventory report. The inventory report's at 10:30 Eastern. Matthew, that's so nice. Very sweet. Matthew says, I'm getting better each day, and I'm coming for Chart Man Dan. I feel like I could continue to improve exponentially every single day, and I still wouldn't reach Dan's status. So, but that's very nice to say. So on Nat gas, I am looking short on Nat gas against 533. But noting inventory today at 10:30 Eastern, these time zones. AAL, I'm looking for a top fish. You see we have this 4-hour EQ. Look at this daily. This sucker only moved 29 cents yesterday. I recognize it's just a $16 instrument. It was, 29 cents. This is super tight, super tight. If oil is pulling back, this may backfire because the airlines could get a tailwind if oil were to pull back. However, the clearest setup for me is a top fish on AAL against yesterday's high, noting that daily 50 MA overhead. So that is one of the Queen of the Mountain setups. mRNA, okay, never mind. This trade is busted. So I was noting today is vaccine day, and we had a daily inside bar yesterday, but I was looking bullishly. 17680, we're already breaking this daily inside bar to the downside, so this trade is busted. Let me take that out of my notes so I don't forget. Oh, CCJ, I didn't type that on my list here. CCJ scouting hourly oversold. This is a uranium name. It's been getting tons of call buying, tons of focus, of course, with all the nuclear talk stuff that's scary. But I would be waiting for hourly oversold. You see this alert down here, the little orange dashed line on my RSI? That is, tell me when the hourly RSI reaches 30 on CCJ, and I would be scouting a daily higher low. We got that bearish reversal candle with that upper wick of profit taking. So I'm just looking for an hourly oversold bounce on CCJ. And if you're a TCG member, I'll be posting that when that alert goes off if I'm at the computer, which I will be 90% of today. So mRNA, that's busted. NKLA, they have started production of their EVs. So they are flying. They have huge volume this morning. Your next resistance is up at 1145 on NKLA. And I'm viewing this as a ninjas only. It should give you some nice volatility when you find those tightening ranges, falling wedges, rising wedges. I think it'll give you some nice trading volatility. Y'all know that's not my style, these small caps, but I like to just throw them out there for the people that it does suit your style. And then I'm just lumping all four of these together. All of these cybersecurity names, they are extended, but you could be scouting back burners on names like Palo Alto. I mean, look at this bull move. We constantly are getting these headlines of cyber attack warnings and cybersecurity needs. So I would be looking for, in this case, first 15-minute oversold on PANW. So let me go set that alert. Tell me when the RSI gets oversold on the 15-minute. And you could do the same thing with ZS. So on ZS, let's look at it on the daily. We've had this big push up, and we have FTNT, we have Crowd. All of those names have had major moves up. So I'm looking for them to potentially pause, but I'm not in the mindset to short them because they've been so bullish. I'd rather just wait for a pullback and go back burner. SMH, I'm scouting an hourly oversold for a daily higher low. Lots of call buying in SMH yesterday. We ran into the daily MA and the 200 MA, and we're pulling back a little bit of elevated bear volume, but plenty of room for daily higher low. So I want that first hourly oversold. Let me go set that alert. So some of these setups may work out toward the end of the day. They may not work out at all, but my alerts are set. Okay, Tesla, I'm going to be contrarian here. I think there are two different trade setups. I think first hourly oversold is going to be a gift of a long trade. So let me set that alert. So that's my long view. My short view is top fishing 1040. I like a top fish of yesterday's high on Tesla. There is an aggressive level here at 1018. We've gotten through that. So I would be waiting for yesterday's high of day for a potential top fish or just scouting back burners. So let me go set my 15 back burner. 15-minute alert. So I'm looking both directions on Tesla. I'm looking for back burner trades on pullbacks, and on any pop, I'm looking for a top fish against 1040. The market's getting a nice little bounce here. But regardless of what size bounce we get, odds favor a 15-minute lower high, a 30-minute lower high. So on a bounce, bears will be looking to top fish this 4481 on ES. Okay. Tesla, went over that. Uber with big news this morning. They have reached an agreement with all New York taxis for them all to be included in the app. That is bullish. Uber had this tightening range. We're breaking bullish over this tightening range. Now on pullbacks, you could look to buy that 3340 area, this triple top area, but this is bullish. You have the daily 50 MA overhead at 35.17, then resistance at 36.31. I think it's going to be a great volatile name today to buy on pullbacks. I wouldn't be careful buying a gap up. I would wait for the pullback, high of low bar, or stair step. VALE is it's in the commodities space, and it got a downgrade this morning. But I'd be careful with this name. It has been super bullish, but a weekly lower high is the most likely scenario compared to 2096. So I like a top fish of yesterday's 2024 or even $20. The top fishing $20 for a potential top fish, and then I'd watch out on lower time frames. If they get oversold, those back burners could kick in, and then it could start bouncing because it's had such a bullish move. All right, that was all of my list. What do y'all have? Let's see AMD. If you could hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Okay. Daily, we rejected from the 50 and the 200 MA. We're holding these key EMAs. At this point, the only setup I like is hourly oversold. Only one I like. RBLX. RBLX is getting daily higher highs, breaking the prior candle highs, which is pretty bullish. I would call it a double top of $52.70 and $53 at this point. You got this hourly tightening range. So your support 50.10, resistance 51.70 and $53. I can look at FTM. Weekly, this could be the beginning of a bear flag. So I'm going to do the rest of that analysis with that in mind. We're getting these little, did we get a higher high? Yeah, little tiny higher highs without a lot of follow through. That is indicative of a rising, oh, that's terrible drawing, of a rising wedge, which is indicative of a bear flag on a higher time frame. So I'd be careful with this name long. Your next resistance over recent highs is 14396. And on the hourly, I would be looking to top fish 13466. You're welcome, Dalton. Hey, Tammy, what you need? Okay, shop. Ooh, diamond pattern. It has had an amazing bounce. Do you see that, Tammy? I would just be careful with that potential pattern because on a bounce up, you're looking for an hourly lower high compared to yesterday's high. So this is a top fish opportunity, in my opinion, then support 69806 and 695. UEC, uranium name. Y'all see all these diamond patterns where we're getting higher high? It's just caution, caution. Yeah, we double topped at 535, 539. I would be waiting for a pullback to buy or be an aggressive shorter at 515 or 535. And then I would be also watching for first hourly oversold so you can get that potential daily high or low. I went over AMD earlier, Francisco, when you first asked. Okay, I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to give myself a break. Okay, so Shibu, weekly inside bar, we're stuck inside last week's range. On the daily, we have double topped at 2534, 2556, running into the daily 50 MA. On the 4 hour, we have enough room for a higher low. On the hourly, we're pulling back hard. On a bounce, you could look for a top fish against 2534. All right, I'm just gonna call it here. I've been on for a while. I got jumped on extra early, got lots of requests in. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. If you could hit the like button, the subscribe button, and bring a friend. And someone sent me this yesterday, a sound bar, and I don't know how to work it yet.
Another one.
But I will. So let's end it with celebration, all right? No problem, Francisco. I'm doing a little jig. Hit that like button. Use stop losses. Love y'all.